Hello again, everybody. Let's continue along in the Haggadah. One of the next psukim that's brought in the Haggadah is the following pasuk: by Yitzienu Hashem Mitzrayim. After it goes through the story of us going down to Mitzrayim and that we cried out by Nitzach and we scream out to Hashem. The pasuk says, by Yitzienu Hashem Mitzrayim. Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim. Biyad Chazaka, it was right in the two of Meir Gadol Vaises and Maipsim. By Yitzienu Hashem Mitzrayim, Hashem took us out of Egypt. The Baal Haggadah says, Lo Ya'idei Malach, Lo Ya'idei Sarv, Lo Ya'idei Shliach, not through any Malach or emissary, Ella HaKadosh Baruch Hu B'chvayda Uva'atmeh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. Shenemar v'avarti b'eretz Mitzrayim b'layla hazev. He kesi kol b'chol b'eretz Mitzrayim yod behema v'kol Mitzrayim as Shvat Mani Hashem. Hashem says, I myself did Makas B'charis. Rabbi Kiva has a famous kasha on this line of the Haggadah. This is going to be a little bit of a slightly more involved Dvar Torah, but not too long. Rabbi Kiva has a kasha. The pasuk says that al yetzu ish pesach basically at biker nobody should go outside, and Chazal say kivin shenitim reshus l'mashchis limgoy. Once the mashchis, the Malach HaMavos has reshus to go out, you have to be careful because he's not able to be mavchin. He cannot distinguish between the Mitzrayim, between the Yidden, and that's why Klal Yisrael had to stay inside because the mashchis, the Malach HaMavos, would just kill anybody inside. So Rabbi Kiva asks, I don't get it. If it's Hashem himself, Hashem himself is killing all the B'chairis, so why did the Yidden have to stay inside? What were they scared of? Was it HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself, or was it the Mashchis? Was it the Malach HaMavos? Kiveger says a beautiful pshat. He says as follows. He says that by Makas B'chairis, who died? The firstborn sons, both of every mother and of every father. That means that the Chazal say that obviously the firstborn of every mother, everybody understood who it was. But a lot of times the Mitzrayim were not faithful to their wives, and every man might have a firstborn from another woman. And that other woman, her husband thought that it's his second son, his third son, his fourth son. And it turns out that the firstborn sons who were firstborn from the father and not from the mother were dying as well. Now, the Mitzrayim were totally unaware of this, and they said, hey, we see the firstborns dying, but we also see number 2, number 3, number 4, we also see others dying. We see that it's not just the firstborns. They didn't realize that those that were dying were the firstborns from that child's father. And since others who were dying besides for the firstborn, that is what created the tremendous pandemonium. Now, the Malach HaMavos was only able to know who was the firstborn of the mother, says Rabbi Kiva. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu was the one who was able to, was mavchin bein tipol shel mitzri ein tipol of b'char. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was the one who was able to identify the firstborns of the fathers. So you had two things going on over here. You had the Malach HaMavos going around killing the firstborn from the mothers, and you had HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'chvayda yuva'atzmei going around and killing the firstborn of the fathers. Now the question is, probably the firstborn of the mothers were much more prevalent than the firstborn of the fathers. So why are we saying that it was done through Hashem? So the answer is, says Rabbi Kiva, the real Yetzias Mitzrayim happened because of the firstborn of the fathers. Because if it would be limited to the firstborn of the mothers, then the Mitzrayim would say, okay, we can deal with it. But once they saw that it wasn't just the firstborn of the mothers, that's what sent them into a frenzy, and they said, "Get out of here!" Because Ki Amru, they said, "Kulanu Mesim, we're all going to die." So it was the firstborn of the father was that which HaKadosh Baruch Hu went out and killed the firstborn from the fathers. That's what got the Mitzrayim so scared, and that's why they sent the Yidden out. And so in the Sefer Yad David, it says a beautiful diak in Ma'ariv we say, Hamake be'avrasei kol b'chai Mitzrayim, Hamake be'avrasei, who he hit with his fury, kol b'chai Mitzrayim, all the b'chai Mitzrayim, emphasis on the kol, all the b'chai Mitzrayim, and he took Klal Yisrael out from amongst them, the Egyptians, l'cheres island, to freedom. And it's very meduyik. It was because of the kol, it was because of that HaKadosh Baruch Hu killed even the b'chayim Av, b'chayim from the fathers. That's what led to Yetzias Mitzrayim. A beautiful pshat. I think that it's very negeh to us, this pshat in our matzav, where everybody's very, very nervous. And because it's important to keep in mind that the real problem is when fear sets in. When the fear of the unknown and oh no, what's going to be? We can't let that thought creep up into us, because that thought is what creates anxiety and what creates a situation where a person will be doing what he shouldn't be doing. One time the Brisker Rav there was a I don't know what exactly the matzav was, but there was a period of tremendous anxiety. Perhaps it was World War II. And the Talmidim of the Brisker Rav went over to him and they said to him, Rabbi, what's going to be? Was wird sein? What's going to be? And the Brisker Rav said to them, what's going to be? I don't know. I'm not a Navi. We don't have Nevuah. But what I could tell you is I know what's mutter to do, what's usher to do, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. And that has to be our attitude now. What's going to be, how this is all going to end, exactly when it's going to end, we don't know. That's the lesson from Hashem. Stop trying to figure out what's going to be in the future. All that we do know is what we should do, what we shouldn't do, what our Rabbanim are telling us, how we should conduct ourselves, how we should not conduct ourselves. And we could go through this period with Menuchas HaNefesh and thrive from this period by working on our Emunah and Hashem and being besimcha and b'menuchas hanefesh by just not trying to figure out what's going to be, just this is the situation as it is. Let's do what we have to do, not do what we shouldn't be doing, and with that way we could get through this b'menucha. We could actually have a very enjoyable Yom Tov. Mr. should always have to have an enjoyable Yom Tov, and we should be zeicha hopefully to have this Yom Tov together in Yerushalayim HaKodesh. Thank you.